Yo. Yo. Peeps. Okay, so all my pain, in my previous videos is irrelevant because, like, this is 100% positivity, right? And working through all the issues that I've been through in the last few videos, I've smoked way too much of this. I can't sit like that because that's just not polite. I have to sit up, get a good angle. This is profound, you know, it is. I feel it is. And it shows how much I've grown. I remember when triggers were something that I would always go into. I would always go into a trigger. I would always take that trigger and do the worst damage to myself that I could do with that trigger. And I just quickly want to say that now I have the power to just step around triggers. You know, I can step around them, and that comes from an increased awareness. That comes from the awareness that people are just talking, you know, people are just being themselves. People just, I mean, I feel that authenticity is like really important, and I feel that people are beautiful. And I had a little bit of a experiment today, which brought me to the point that I am at now. Because this is me all over, because I knew that I could step around triggers, and I knew that I could do that, and I knew that I could do that very well. My mind works like this. I said to myself, well, now I can do that. Maybe I can choose to go into those triggers and see what that does. Anyway, I want to keep that seriously low key because it was a mistake. It was. I don't want to say a mistake as in like a negative thing, because like I say, it brought me to where I am now. This beautiful, positive awareness that I feel right now, which is that stepping around triggers. And I went on the internet, yeah, and it says when a person is being bullied, different things, different bullet points on what to do. One of them is to hold, me, you, anybody, is to hold our anger. And I appreciate that not everyone will resonate with this video, but I hope that some people do resonate with what I'm saying, because I feel like I've reached an awareness where like I can really bloom and blossom and really learn from all the comments that I'm getting off people, that I am able to step around as a trigger and just continue my day feeling good. And where do I go from here? I mean, it's opened me up a full awareness of like being a beautiful person. Um, and how do I put this? Because I've only just realized the power of staying away from triggers. And I don't mean like to, oh, don't get on the bus because you get triggered, or don't go to work because you get triggered. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about stepping around those triggers when they come. Because what it does is it fully opens my awareness to being a much, much better person. What it does is it gives me the empathy for the people, for what they're saying, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it will give me the awareness of where they're coming from. I mean, not always. I won't always know where a person is coming from with what they're saying, but the hope is that it'll give me much, much, much clued up and much more savvy as to there is a word, it's called innocuous, the harmless beauty of people speaking when they're around me, and the beauty of holding goodness for what people say when they're around me. I feel like the luckiest. I am transgender. I am a trans female, and I do feel like I'm the luckiest girl in the world. I mean, I know there are plenty of girls out there who hear a lot of things from people and do not be bothered at all by what they're saying, and always holding positivity and love in their awareness. And I feel that with a little work, I do still get a little bit triggered. Well, not so much triggered. You see, what happens is, if I feel my anger when I get a comment, if I allow myself to get angry when I get a comment, when it's just quite simply that the uncertainty that whether that comment was good or bad, I can step around that trigger. And if I keep doing that, that's going to bring to me a huge positive awareness of the beauty of people, the beauty of what they're saying, and just make me a beautiful person. And that's pretty much all the video I want to make here. I feel like I'm in such a positive, loving, high vibrational space. And yes, I do struggle. I do feel anger. And the internet says to hold the anger. When I feel like I'm being bullied, to hold the anger. But I really want to erase that word I said, that is bullying. When I get a comment, things are getting a little bit too much for me. They are getting a little bit too much for me, but I'll hold my anger. And I can say, because it is important to have boundaries. And this guy was getting so horny, so you know what a man's horniness, sometimes can be so strong, so powerful, and so offensive, because he's feeling that way about me, and he is not someone who I want to be fucking with, you know. It's happened at a bus stop at Hurlington, yeah. And I says to him, I says, "You're hurting me." And he apologised. He apologised, and that was such a beautiful, beautiful thing for him to say. And this is about many comments I get. Maybe I get 50 comments a day of people. And it's knowing that people making comments to other people is perfectly normal. And if people make comments to me out of love, then I need to be able to feel that love, appreciate that love, and empathize with that love. So, holding my anger, 100%, staying present and hoping for the goodness to come into my mind of what that comment meant, you know, will really see, because I'm at a place now where, like, I am who I am. I have my flaws. I do struggle with this, but I feel like I'm in a gateway. I'm in a gateway where, like, I can really bloom and blossom into a better, more beautiful person. And I have struggled today. I did freak out. It was my own fault. I made the mistake of going into every trigger that I felt, which is suicide. You know, I don't want to trigger anyone, but it's suicide. I've been able to step around triggers for a while now, just step around them. And I thought I'd experiment with going into triggers, because Teal Swan's book, she says go into triggers. It's healing. But I've learned that to be a really, really beautiful person is to step around the triggers, to hold the anger, to stay completely calm and centered. Because if I don't know what a comment meant, then why get angry? You know, why get angry? Why not just, you know, if I don't know what it meant, it's crazy. It's crazy to, I hope I've got enough battery left on my phone, actually, because I made a few videos. It's crazy to go on to tear myself up. It's crazy to tear myself up, but that's not the point. Through staying fully present, when someone says something that could have meant something bad, might not have meant something bad, you know, the internet says hold your anger. But, like, I don't even want to feel any anger. You know, I want to get so used to holding my anger that that anger just goes away, you know. I mean, sometimes, yeah, it is necessary to say, "You're hurting me," by saying that, or just to say, "You're hurting me." I've had a beautiful comment from a guy who was really, really aroused and really, really gunning for me sexually, you know, and I didn't want to be fucking with him because I felt he was a user. He was a cannabis smoker. He clearly had no money. He spends all it's his generalizations, and I hope it's not offensive, but he smokes marijuana. He's got no money, you know. He'll want money from me, you know, to supply his drugs habit. And I was like, "You're hurting me." And he apologized. But the thing is, all these triggers that come in, all these triggers, all these beautiful comments from people. I mean, there are so many beautiful comments that come from people that could be construed as triggering, when in actual fact they're from the light. They're not from any kind of darkness, you know. And I want to be, if I want to embody more of the light and beauty, I need to step around those triggers, just step around them, be unaffected by them, and just continue my day. And like I say, I can have a boundary. I can say, like, if it's too much for me, I can say, please, you're hurting me, you know. And this is my video. I really want to be a better person, a more aware person, a more lovely person. And I feel this is the way to get there. So I hope you like my video. Have a good one. Goodbye.